Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're happy to be with you guys again this Friday. Here's my cohort in crime here.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, I'm feeding the dog. The dogs.
Good thing.
Yeah.
They're kind of persnickety today. One wants the other one's food, and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
typical dog day.
So I wanted to start with just a reminder to let's go through the Reiki ideals. If you want to just take a minute and close your eyes and put your hands in Gasho and take a deep breath from your crown all the way down through all your chakras. And then another deep breath, bringing in Mother Earth energy, coming in from the bottoms of your feet, all the way up through your chakras, up through your crown. Letting that beautiful mixed energy flow out around you. And as I say these, it would be nice if you repeated them out loud. So your time. So just for today.
Just for today.
Just for today.
I will let go of anger.
I will
Let go of anger.
Just for today.
Just for
Just
the
for
today.
I will let go of worry.
I will let
I
go.
will let go of worry.
Just for today, I will be
Yes.
grateful. Oh, I'm sorry. Just for today,
Just for today.
Just for today,
I will be grateful for all my many blessings.
I will be grateful for all my many blessings.
Blessings.
Just for today,
Just
Just
for today.
for today,
I will do my work honestly.
I will do
I
my
will do my work honestly.
Just for today,
just for the
Just for
day.
today,
I will be kind to every living thing, including myself.
I will be kind to every living thing, including myself.
Namaste.
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 Thank you.
Yes.
So how is everybody?
1 week older.
1 week older.
No.
Yeah, we've all, I had more, I'm gonna just be totally honest. I kind of had like a couple of not so good days here
Me too.
this week. I don't know. I mean, I think it's like we're at a month, and you know, I think last night when I heard that they're talking about not having football at the football stadium down in Santa Clara till November,
Yeah.
I went into like a little bit of, oh no, this is not working for me. So,
Well, we have Tanglewood, and I mean, this is an arts area, and you know, Jacob's Pillow, where people come from all over the world,
Yeah.
has canceled their entire summer season.
Wow.
And you know, there are some of the theaters around here are not going to have seasons, or they're going to do things online. And we're waiting to hear about Tanglewood, and that's
Wow.
like huge here. So yeah, it's like what, summer in the Berkshires with no theater and no concerts, and
Yes. Yes.
it's it's a little scary. But it's also scary when I think about, let's just go back to what we were doing before, and then we start this whole thing all over again. So
Yeah.
that's
I don't
scary
think
too.
so.
you know, the other night we watched on PBS, there was a concert. Garth Brooks won an award for a songwriter, and it was Ira Gershwin Award
Wow.
for Songwriter of the Year or something. I mean, you know, it was like a lifetime award thing. And it was filmed on March 20th or March 2nd
Oh.
of this year. And the place was packed.
Oh, wow.
And I was looking at it going, wow, a week later, and they couldn't have done it. Like,
Yeah.
it was, I mean, it was, by the way, if you like Garth Brooks at all, it is well worth watching, because there were a lot of really good singers and stuff on it. So, but it was fascinating to me because all the members of Congress were there.
Wow.
And so it was kind of fun to watch some of them singing, you know, I have friends in low places. The whole
boy.
group of them knew all the words to that. So that was pretty fun.
It's Amanda driving.
Amanda's driving. Good morning.
You're driving, paying attention to what she's doing, which is good.
Yeah, she is. So just checking in. How's everybody doing? What's happened this week? Anything new? Anything good? Let's hear good. Let's hear what's happening.
All right. I'm going to make this good.
Okay.
Monday, Stanford canceled my surgery Wednesday the 15th.
That's
And
good.
this is not elective surgery, but Stanford has decided to do surgery only in cases of urgency and emergency. And that means they're going to check on me remotely every week until I get urgent enough to be called in for surgery, which would make me crazy. But actually, I made chili, spicy chili. So, and I'm not even waiting. There's no point in waiting on something you don't know when it's going to happen. You know, it's like waiting for rain. No, probably not. So, but I did have a panic attack.
Yeah.
I'm just over it. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's pretty common.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And it's also reflective of how terrified hospital people are. Surgery would be a really big deal if you got somebody on your table who was catching and didn't know it. That's not going to change, but right now they're so scared that they don't realize it's only going to get worse. So by the time they call me in, it probably will be worse. I'm hoping that we have a hump really soon, but you know, nobody can tell. So it's just a zoo out there. Very difficult for so many people.
Yeah, they do say they feel like the curve is flattening. They may not have hit the peak, but they aren't getting as many new cases as they thought they would at this point, or you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
For where? For this area or for the United States or?
For California, for right now. I mean, California seems to be really, because they were the first ones to go on this shelter in place.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like they're saying that it seems to be working. Not like we can go back to what we were doing, but it, you know, just kind of, I think maybe just to give people a little bit of
Hope.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah, hope.
So
I just watched Andrew Cuomo, and who's wonderful. And New York is sort of in the same position, I think, as California, that they got hit pretty early and pretty hard. And while there are still a lot of people dying, not as many people are being admitted to the hospital. But he, you know, he's being cautious. He's saying if we just go back to life as normal, you know, there could be another peak. So we, you know, kind of watching what's happening in other countries. And so, yeah, it's a scary thing. And then I guess like in 1918, they said the virus mutated and then came back. So that's scary too, you know. So I guess you just got to kind of hunker down and keep doing Reiki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this, so I've been cleaning. I mean, I want everybody to share, but I have been cleaning in my office, which is like it's an ongoing process because it's like where I throw everything, any kind of paper ends up in there, and that mutates and spreads.
Yes.
But I had this thing on my this thing on my bulletin board, and it had been covered over. So when I was clearing all this off, and it's this a day, you know, one of those daily calendar things, and I've saved it since 2005, and it says, when the situation is at its worst, that's a great time for you to choose to be at your best. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this is what we need to remember. So yeah, so anybody else want to share about their week, how they're doing?
I'll share.
Yeah.
I've actually been feeling pretty good in general, surprisingly good. I do have beautiful Dolores Park to go to pretty much anytime I want. I mean, we're supposed to be staying in, but people can go out and exercise and walk their dogs, and so I can get outside and I can walk and I can exercise, and I've been exercising inside too. And I have been doing more of my centering prayer and doing Reiki on myself. I did have a very strange, disturbing dream last night that I actually woke up from. It was one of these dreams where I really had to, I'm on a certain medication that, you know, I take at night. And sometimes it causes me when I wake up to feel like, now, was that a dream or was that real? You know, like I might wake up and, anyway, so I woke up and I was feeling in the middle of the night, and I sat up for a while and I wrote in my journal, but I was feeling a little scared, like for myself mentally. Maybe that's too dramatic, but it did give me pause. I mean, I have lots of, you know, groups, a lot of Zoom groups I'm on every week, including you guys. And so I have social contact, have friends I can call and all that, but it scared me, you know, and it sort of lasted. I woke up this morning and I was like still feeling kind of weird, but I took a shower and I'm here now, and I think it's passing, but it scared me a little because I was feeling really good, and you know, this just kind of it was like a bad dream sort of derailed me a little, and I guess it's to be expected because we were in such a strange situation.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody yesterday or last night, and she was telling me that actually you know, of course anxiety is normal, but apparently people that have really high anxiety are not actually having as much right now because their insides are matching the outsides. And you know, like if you have anxiety, you're thinking, oh, you know, worst case scenario is going to happen. Well, we're kind of in pretty, you know, some pretty worst case scenarios for a lot of people. You know, for some of us, we're just sitting at home and fighting with each other. But
Oh, really?
no,
Some of us,
yeah, no.
Oh.
Some people are, not us.
It's
We would never-
probably his fault anyway.
Yeah, it is.
No doubt. Yes.
well, I just say, yes, it is, dear, I'm sorry. And she said, you didn't even listen to me, did you? And I said, yeah, I did. What were we talking about? Proper response.
So there's that. But you know, so in most cases, you know, for the majority of us, we're all just, you know, having to shelter in place, and means, you know, staying inside where we have a home and we have, you know, we have food, and we can figure all of the, you can figure out all the getting groceries and all that. And so Mike's arguing with the dog, so I'm sorry, I was distracted. So, but there's, it's like I think last summer when they were talking about the fires and they were doing, like shutting off the electricity and stuff, I think that was almost more traumatic because it was hot and we were going to be without air conditioning. And well, Linda, you live in the city, so you don't have that problem. Oh, you too, Elizabeth. But those of us who live where it's 100 degrees summer, it's, and I become witch with a B when I'm hot. So it's not, it's true. I admit it.
He's not saying anything. He knows that he better not.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just saying, I mean, we all, for some people it's horrific. I'm not saying, there's those people that are sick or losing family members, it's horrible. And at least, but the majority of us, we're all, we just have to stay home.
Yeah.
Who else wants to share?
Anybody else want to share how they're doing? Sorry.
I will.
Okay, Amanda, welcome.
Hi. I thought
Hi.
I'd share because I don't know how much longer I can stay on. I just wanted to join and see your beautiful faces and say hello. Greetings from Wyoming. Definitely sounds like a different world here than what you're experiencing in California. We have a total of 6 cases in our town and 7 in our county. So it's a much different scale here, and we are not ordered to shelter in place, but we are ordered to keep distance, and a lot of businesses, of course, are closed. So it is kind of different. The snow's melting, which makes me super happy because it's starting to get warmer, and it's nice to get outside. It's easy to socially distance here outside because like there's a lot of space and not a lot of people. So my dad had an emergency surgery this week, actually. He had surgery about a month and a half ago before things got crazy on his low back, and it turns out there was an infection, and so we had to drive about 3 hours north, get him into the ER so his surgeon could operate on him. And It was just really interesting to do something like that during this time. And so I know someone had talked about surgery and, having just kind of on the other side of that and seeing what my parents went through. I drove them up and basically just stayed in the hotel because I couldn't even go in the hospital.
Right.
And, I think it's an interesting perspective. Like a lot of hospitals are actually laying people off right now too, because there's not a lot of surgeries happening. And so there's like less staff there, which in some cases are good for hospitals because then they're not as exposed. But on the other hand, there's a lot of economic impact happening too. And so I'm just grateful my dad was able to get in, have his surgery. He's doing well. We got him home yesterday. He's in his 70s. And so I just always, he has COPD and some issues. And so I just always worry about his health. But at the same time, he's doing good, and he was joking and being his silly self. And so I'm just super grateful for that. And so it was really kind of cool to go and see a different part of the state for a couple of days and just trying to stay on the positive side of that experience. And I have a 4-year-old, and he was with his dad, and so I'm grateful that his dad could just step in and take him for 5 days that normally would be my days. And as a mom, like having quiet in a hotel room for 3 days straight was incredible. It was kind of nice because, being shelter at home with a 4-year-old is like a whole other experience. So anyways, I just wanted to pop in and say hi. And thank
Nice to
you for
see you.
having these coffee check-ins.
Yeah, it's so nice to see you. I've missed your face.
Yes, same. Same. I actually plan to be doing a drive to NorCal this summer. I don't know if that's going to happen now, but if it does, of course, I'll be letting you know so we can get together.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, hopefully, who knows at this point. Yeah.
Who knows? Playing it day by day, just making the best of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been fortunate so far that my business isn't significantly impacted, and so I just went from working at Soul Studio and seeing clients there and doing my business clients to doing it all over Zoom, and it's been fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Zoom is pretty
yeah.
amazing.
I think it's, I guess the reason I share that is I know there's a lot of people who are impacted, and I don't want to belittle that. But I also think it's important that we speak up for people who are still doing okay. And so it's not all doom and gloom, and just let everybody know that, you know, if you're creative and you can, you know, do your best to kind of focus on the truth in the present moment, that it can all be okay right now too. So that's how I'm processing, is just one day at a time, right now, current moment, getting fruit snacks for my kid and jumping on Zoom calls. Like, that's my life right now, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Great seeing you,
Thanks.
man.
Nice to see you.
You too, Mike. Bye, Chellie.
So anybody else want to share how they're doing?
Share?
Sure.
I'm like you. It's been kind of up and down. I mean, it just really is like, just depends on the day, if it's up or down. But my main thing is, and this is going to sound like a joke, it's kind of funny, but it's not funny. Like, I've outgrown all my underwear. It's like, and I get pissed off because it's like a rubber band, and I'm like, I'm not wearing this freaking thing. So I just ordered some this morning, thankfully, and you know, it won't be here for 10 days, but that's cool because I don't have to leave the house for 10 days. So
Yeah.
whatever. Anyway, I'm just, you know, I joked last week, I'm working on my sumo belly. That work continues. I'm just saying, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine. I kind of dip my toe into this anti-diet thing. Like, you're beautiful the way you are. You are worthy and you deserve love, and you don't have to remodel yourself. So I'm kind of going with that. You know, because that's a better way to think to me. So I'm kind of struggling with that on the same time. But anyway, new underwear ordered. It's a fucking, it's a good thing. Sorry, everybody. Flipped out. So that's how it's going. Hanging in there. Good days, bad days.
Yeah, Linda.
I'd like to share something good. Is that in some ways this has felt like a retreat, because I do have contact with other people, but you know, mostly just walking outside, and they're walking and doing their thing. But I have a lot of contact at home. You know, I mean, and I'm on a number of Zoom groups, but I've been doing a lot more taking care of myself in ways like cooking, and really cooking very healthy. And luckily there seems to be a lot of pretty good fresh produce around the neighborhood that I can get. And you know, I'm focusing on food more, and like just the simplicity of it. I mean, it could be complicated, but I mean, it just the simple making a meal and enjoying it, and being excited about what vegetable I found at the market. And it's new to me, because usually for me, you know, I mean, I like eating, but I mean, I'm not always picking the best things and eating on a really regular basis, you know, throughout the day. And I am doing that now. So it's like, you know, starting a new practice around food, and that seems like a good step for me.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Ganesh?
Hi. Yeah. Can you hear me? I think I
Uh-huh.
had some problems with my mic. Yeah, just to give you a slightly different perspective, some of you might know I'm from India. I've been in the Bay Area for almost 30 years now. So my challenge now is, as I don't know whether how many of you are aware that India is on a lockdown now. The country of 1.3 billion people. So it's on lockdown for almost 3 weeks. And my parents are like, my dad is 87, mom is 83.
Wow.
And I talk to them like twice a day. It's tough, being on a lockdown, and we have help there, but unfortunately, you don't want to have a lot of people coming in when they're really old. So it's sort of a different kind of anxiety for them as well as for me, because I had actually planned on being there, originally like a couple of months ago, like sometime next month, but that's all not going to happen. And so it's like, it's very interesting to see when I read about India, what kind of the problems we face was what they face there, because India, a lot of, you don't have the benefits, social benefits program like we have here from the government, because for people who are at the lower rungs of the society, because there's a lot of migrant laborers, right? So those people, they just like, the street side vendors and people who do, the janitors. It's not quite an organized sector where you can just send a check to them. And so that's been pretty hard on India. So you have like almost tens of millions, almost more than 100 million people. So you have this huge migration of people going from the cities to the rural areas. And it's heartbreaking, actually, when you look at those videos and read about that. So I for a moment, I just try to envision what's there. It's been a while since I really lived in India, more than 30 years now. So, but it's it's quite it gives you a different perspective. What goes on in different parts of the world. People who have everything is different, right? People don't have the money or whatnot, right? There's a shortage of food and a whole lot of things which goes on, right? The supply chain doesn't work like that works in the US. So that's what. So I was just trying to share my level of anxiety here. Slightly different. We are all doing fine here, but I just try to keep tab on what's going on with my parents.
Right.
They try to calm me down and say, "Yeah, we're doing fine," but it's tough. It's tough, especially when they're really old, and it's tough to see that. So just something different.
My heart goes out to you. That's frightening.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah.
And it also kind of brings home how blessed we all are here. I mean, I can complain we're having a bad day and everything, but at least we got a roof over our heads and supply chain for food so far.
Yeah.
Utilities. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Ton? Wait, you're mute. You muted.
There we go. Thank
There we
you. Can't really complain here. You want to come up? The little girl, she just came back in. We just finished the yard and we installed the swing for the kids. And thank God we did, because I wouldn't know what to do. Both my husband and I work.
Yeah.
Then it's just really nice for them to have an outdoor space, because they're used to it at school and they're outside a lot. So we're trying.
Yeah.
Things definitely could be worse. So we're very, very grateful. No complaints.
Yeah. Good. Well, it's I think it's good for everybody to see different perspectives and see different things. I read an article about India a couple of days ago, and I thought of you, and I wondered how your folks were, Ganesh. So it's nice to see that you're on the call. I read this thing in Spirituality and Health. I'm signed up with them. And I wanted to kind of go over these 10 affirmations that they had because we all, like, I've gotten a gazillion emails about how I can improve myself during this time. Like,
It's a message.
it,
Yep.
and I think everybody's getting them. Like, like, you can learn to meditate and do yoga and cook food and, be Mary Poppins. Like, those aren't things that I wanted to ever do. So, I mean, some of them I want to do, but some of them I don't want to do. And yet I feel like, oh, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should do that. So, so this woman, her name is Catherine Wagner, and she says, I'm grumpy.
What issue? Can you ask you what issue?
No, this was just an email. It was dated April 6th. I don't know what issue it was in.
Okay.
But I think it's just a blog on their site, and it says, I'm grumpy, really grumpy. It's bad enough that we have a horrible pandemic, but now we're getting a tsunami of expectations placed on us, and by us, I mean mostly working women. So, so anyway, full confession, I wasn't a super chef or a very good housekeeper before this, and under emotional distress, I'm not likely to turn into Martha Stewart meets Mary Poppins. So I think it's important for, so anyway, she came up with a list of 10 affirmations. That's the point that I'm trying to share with you. Is today, number one is today I'm not judging myself or others. 2, I trust myself to navigate this moment. 3, I release any need to compare myself to anyone else. 4, things don't need to go exactly as planned. 5, small steps are still forward progress. This is my favorite, number 6. Good enough is actually good enough.
Great.
That's my favorite. 7, I can observe chaos and uncertainty without fear. I am already worthy. I let go of expectations from myself and others, and less is more. And she says, be gentle on yourself. We are all in uncharted waters, paddling as fast as we can. You were enough before this pandemic, and you are enough now. And when this eventually passes, there will be plenty of time to learn to knit or get snazzy with the pastry puff, or not.
Or not.
Or not.
Can you give those to us again, or?
Yeah, I'll email them out to the follow-up.
Okay.
Please. Thank you.
Great.
Because I think it's important. This is good to remember that, and it's interesting, like, what I keep reminding myself when we go to the store and there's still no toilet paper, and I'm thinking, what is wrong with people?
Yeah.
I think, well, this is their way of handling stress. Like, some people, that's their way, and it's inconvenient, but we're all going to be fine, but everybody doesn't really feel fine. And
Right.
and because there's no, like, oh, on July 1st, this will be over, or June 1st, or whatever, because we don't know when it's going to be over. It's this lingering thing is what is driving me crazy. Like, I could do anything for a month or 2 months, or even 3 months, if I know that that's all it is.
Yeah.
But, we don't know.
Right.
So, you have thoughts you want to add?
It's only been a month.
It's only been a month.
Yeah. So we have a long ways to go by the sounds of it, but we keep doing what we're doing, it's going to go away faster. So
Yeah.
we need to do this. And
One thing I'm worried about is that we be careful we don't get a second wave of this come fall or winter, right? So
Right.
that's the scary part. So
Yeah, I read this morning that there's maybe going to be an antibody test so that people can know that if they've had it, they can, you know, not have to worry about getting, theoretically, not worry about getting it again. And also they're doing some tests with people who have been asymptomatic,
Good.
and maybe their blood can help the people who are having serious complications with it. Maybe they can, so anyway, that's just a you know, a couple of things that I, you know, but who knows? I mean, that's the thing, we don't know.
Mm. I
It's
think,
so
you know,
weird.
the thing is that anything, whether it's a vaccine or a cure or what, you know, takes time. People think we're going to have a magic medicine and they're going to discover it tomorrow and we're all going to get it. And that's not the way it works. And that, you know, so sometimes we, you know, put our hope in something that, you know, we really don't, you know, that's just not going to happen right away. And then we also don't know if it's going to mutate. So there are all those kinds of things too that we have to remember when we get too excited about somebody saying, oh yeah, this is it, we're all going to get somebody's blood and we're all going to be better.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's not going to work that way. You know, and I have a background, you know, from college in biology and chemistry, so I probably understand some things a little bit more than probably the general population. But I get annoyed with, you know, with people that think, well, I can wear gloves, and then they take them off and but you just reinfected yourself. You don't understand. You're not helping yourself. So you know, I'm trying to be patient with everybody and how everybody is reacting. That's sometimes hard too, because, you know, my husband and I both have this philosophy that our way is the right way and everybody else is wrong, you know. And his way is right, mine is wrong, and mine is right, his is wrong. So, you know, it's trying to deal with all that too, you know, and just.
And a lot of time together.
And what?
And a lot of time together to discuss it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always knew that the day would come when we'd be stuck in the house together with neither one of us working, but I just didn't think it was going to happen this soon. I thought, like, you know, maybe in 20 years when I'm in my 90s, I might not be able to teach dance anymore, and he won't be driving, but now here we are, you know. So most of the time we kind of keep things going with, you know, humor and laughter, and other times it gets pretty tense, you know. I know he's not going to kill me because I know how to cook, but you know. He has his stuff he can do, so we need each other, but
Yeah.
it just gets tense sometimes, you know.
It does, it can.
No.
Not with us.
No.
We're
Oh,
always.
guys, well, you know, see, I look at all like the licensed Reiki teachers, and I all think you're all perfect, and you all have all the answers, and
Yeah.
nothing ever go. And then I get to know you guys, and I find out you're human just like me, and that's a little scary.
Well, I wish I had all the answers, but you know. There've been times in my life I thought I had all the answers, but I didn't, you know.
Then somebody asks different questions.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, everybody has different coping skills and mechanisms to use, and fortunately, we get along with ours, so we're not at odds with anything. So, I mean, the garage is always there every day, and I know I got several days left, so I got plenty.
It was supposed to be done this week, so you could show us. What's wrong with you?
Well, I'm dragging my feet a little bit. You know, I had to practice the guitar yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's way more important.
That was important.
You know, it's his safe haven is to go out in that garage. So when I'm in a bad mood, he's out there working. So
I know this morning I thought about doing some big project, then I decided to just peel carrots and cut up carrot sticks. That just is a lot easier.
yeah.
You know, we just have to, you know, pray or thank God that we're where we are. I mean, we could be in India, you know, fighting that right now, and you know, and pray for them and Reiki to everybody we can, and you know, just like I said, pray for the best. But it's a matter of everybody keeping her cool, doing what we're supposed to do, and let this work. I mean, I'm not really much of a politician or liking politicians too much, but I think Gavin Newsom is doing a great job.
Yeah, terrific.
He is. He's at least he's trying, and
Yeah.
better than some of our politicians.
Don't get started.
I'm not. Be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we all have to find a compromise to make this work. That's what we're all about in a way. Compromise.
And let's not forget the first responders. I mean,
Yeah.
they are the ones to be thanked.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
At the very beginning, we have to, I think I do Reiki for them every day.
Yeah.
When you look at people, it's just heartbreaking, right? Some of them, they fall sick and they go on this 18-hour shifts. And, you've got to really thank them, right? They are, you see God in them, really.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the saying. I went to the store. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Days running together. I went to the store and there was a clerk behind the counter there, and I said, "I bet you go home and take about a 2-hour shower when you get out of here, don't you?" And she said, "Yeah, maybe sometimes longer." And I said, "Well, we really appreciate what you're doing." I mean, you go first responders and that, but these people are the ones giving you food and that too. So there are a lot of people out there that don't really have a choice,
That's right.
of where they work. I mean, and some of us are fortunate enough that we're going to make it through this and we don't have to go into work and worry about catching it from somebody. In a grocery store, how many people do you get through there in a day?
Really?
Yeah.
It's incredible. So
Yeah. So the nurses, the doctors, the people working at the grocery stores. I mean,
police, firemen, everybody.
yeah, you're right. Well, one of our students and friends is a manager for Whole Foods.
Oh.
And she said, some people are just going in every day because they're bored. Like you can go to the grocery store, so they are going every day.
Wow.
And it's like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
She said, all of her employees are, put at risk because people just don't feel like staying home. And if they're not staying home, going to the grocery store, maybe they're going to the hardware store too, because that can be open. And, so anyway, I was like, oh.
That's something I didn't imagine was happening. Thanks for opening my eyes when I see the Safeway line to know that some of them are just spending their day.
Yeah, it's like how they go. And somebody else was saying that, people are going into Home Depot just wandering around because they got nothing else to do. So why not, plan their next project or whatever. I'm like, stay home. So.
Yeah, there was a kind of a thing about somebody going into Walmart or something, but he had a scuba tank on and glasses and his wetsuit, everything. You go like,
wow.
Well, that's one extreme, but
yep.
I had my mask on yesterday and my rubber gloves at the grocery store, and I go like, this is really strange,
Yeah, I wore a mask to go grocery shopping, and almost everybody in the store had a mask on. So I didn't feel so silly. But we're very lucky because we have what I think is even better than Whole Foods, which is a family-owned grocer here in Pittsfield. They've had it for 40 years, and they're only allowing 25 people in the store. They're monitoring that. They have somebody that just goes around disinfecting. Nothing is left out. Everything is all prepackaged now. So, they don't have the bulk items or anything. I mean, they're being super, super careful. So
wow.
I feel, and they're also asking people only one family member to go in at a time. And please try to limit your shopping to once every week or once every 2 weeks. And their customers are, really paying attention to that,
That's
So I feel more confident when I go there, but I look forward to it too. It's, but I go grocery shopping and I feel like I'm gearing up to go into battle,
Well,
where it used to be, oh yeah, I'm going to Guido's and I'm going to see a lot of people I know. Now it's like, you got to go in with the mask and do what you got to do and get out of there, So yeah, but then I think how lucky I am that I can have all this nice fresh food and
yes.
feed myself and my husband, and and we're really lucky. So I try
How's
to.
Michelle doing? How's your daughter down in Florida?
Well, they're told to stay home, but I don't know. She's not paying very close attention to that. Her idea of staying home and mine are different. And, you know, they're still allowed to get together for church. So she'll go to somebody's house where there's like 8 or 10 people.
Oh.
And, you know, I don't know.
That's what I
There's a
feel.
lot of things that are not my idea of sheltering in place.
No.
And then next week she's working 1 day a month, 1 week a month, because she's one of those hospital workers that's not considered necessary. She's a research data coordinator, and she doesn't take care of patients. So she's down to only working 1 week a month, but next week she has to go in, and she will have to go into the hospital. So that's a little scary too. You know, so I worry about her and I worry about it really exploding in Florida, because I don't think down in Florida there are a lot of seniors in Florida, and I don't think that they're being as careful as certainly we are, at least in, you know, what I see in Pittsfield. I'm in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, for those that don't know me. So, you know, I think at least most people in my neighborhood are being really, really good about it. You know, we go out for walks, but if we bump into somebody, it's from opposite sides of the road, and we have conversations from far apart. People are being really good, but I don't see that happening as much where my daughter is. So, yeah, I'm a little more concerned about her.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, Ton, who does the grocery shopping, you or Damon? She's muted
you
again. too.
muted yourself.
You're muted.
Mostly Prime Now.
Oh,
Now, there you go.
Well, we're kind of used to it because we use that service a lot even before. But it's just the milk that we have to run out for. But then a few weeks ago, Damon was able to go to Costco and get those the milk cartons for the kids. They last a little longer than the milk at the grocery stores. So that's tying us over. But it's mostly delivery now. I think I might have to go outside for a little bit for Sprouts. I can't trust Damon to do any grocery shopping. You ask for carrots, he comes home with broccoli.
Maybe he's colorblind.
Beginning to think so, but I think he's doing this on purpose so he doesn't have
I know Damon. I think that he doesn't want to go to the grocery store, so he does that on purpose.
That's a man's secret.
I was going to say that. Yeah, I know that happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes the store doesn't have it. My store has not had potatoes since we started. It hasn't had rice since we started.
Yes, I wasn't able to find carrots one time.
Yeah, well, I got carrots instead of broccoli too. So there's more than one reason for carrots instead of broccoli. I guess nobody's buying carrots. Is that it?
My husband does this enough times that I know his vice.
He can't get away with it then, can he?
Okay, so last week I forgot to do this, but I want to pull a card. So of what to focus on this week. You want to pick one?
I did last time.
I know, but
You should pick it.
no.
I didn't do so well. Or did
You
I?
did great.
Take that one.
Take that one.
Take that one.
Not that one.
This is the tribe. Oh, of course.
Of course, the tribe. There we go.
This is, I'm going to read you about this. This says community, belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. This card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know we are useful to our tribes, families, and communities. In a tribe, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are part of a spiritual community or an artistic one or a Reiki one. Oh, it doesn't say the Reiki one, but I'm putting that in there. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in the tribe, your presence is needed. I actually think that the tribe we're talking about is the human race right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of us need, you know, we're all in this together. I had a client, I had somebody yesterday or last week make an appointment for an online, you know, for a distant session.
Yeah.
And she didn't put her phone number down. So I sent her an email and said, hey, I need your phone number so I can call you so we can talk. And she said, oh, I don't live in the US.
Oh.
So you're not going to be able to call me. Where can we do Zoom? And I said, oh yeah, sure. So then I thought, well, let's see, if she made her appointment at 2:30, like where would she be? So it turns out she had not figured out the time correctly, and she was in Dubai.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wow. I mean, so she stayed up to have her session so that, I mean, it was 11 hours later. So 2:30, it was like 1:30 in the morning there.
Wow.
And
How did she find you?
well, I mean, she found us through the ICRT. So, I mean, it was kind of interesting that, you know, because she'd taken Reiki somewhere along the line and decided she wanted a Reiki session. And
Very
so
cool.
I was thinking, wow. And, you know, she's in the same position the rest of us are. She's in shelter in place in Dubai, you know, so it's all over the world. And, you know, people from all over the world get our newsletter because I click on that thing on MailChimp to see where people are opening it, and people in Australia and New Zealand and Japan and
Wow.
are reading our newsletters, but you know, we're all in the same boat.
Mhm.
We're all in the same situation. So,
You know, I wanted to add, I want to thank you, Ganesh, for what you said. It really opens our eyes to the fact that it's not just us in this country that are going through this, that it's all over. And, you know, I have a friend that lives in New Delhi, so I do see what's happening, but to have such a personal connection to, you know, to what you're going through, and to make us have another way of looking at things and counting our blessings, but also taking time to send some love and energy over there, because yeah, they got different kinds of problems there. But thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
yeah. So thank you, everyone. Anybody have anything else they want to add before we go?
Oh, Mike and Chellie,
Mm-hmm.
how are you guys at teaching preschool, kindergarten? You want 2 kids coming over to your house? Just wondering.
Come on over. We can do it.
Todd only lives about 4 blocks from us, so that
Oh,
could be pretty handy.
oh. Cool.
You haven't been
They're
arrested yet?
good
or
teachers,
anything?
right?
Yeah.
You got
haven't
a
been arrested for drinking yet on a job?
I think, you know what, I've come to terms with Evan probably going to need to repeat whatever he has to repeat, because I'm not a good teacher. Neither is Damon. And Sophie quit school. So
She quit, huh?
she quit. One day she just, I don't want to do work. And she took her toy and she went to her little corner and played there.
Wow.
She's a 2-year-old, right?
Yeah, that's the 3-year-old.
Oh, 3-year-old.
Yeah, she's
okay.
3, but
3 now.
yeah. You know what? I don't blame her. I don't want to work either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I go out to the garage.
Okay.
That way.
Takes his toy and goes out to the garage.
I know that, and I still am okay with it.
I'm out of sight.
Side, sure, yeah.
Anybody else have anything? Well, I'm glad to see everybody looks healthy and you know, I'm happy to see you every week. And we're going to do a Reiki share next Wednesday night at 7. Yeah, 7
On Zoom.
on Zoom. So that'll be a little different than
I'd
what we're
like
doing.
to know how you do that, because I'm going to be due for a Reiki meetup. So it's the same thing. It's a Reiki share. How are you going to do it on Zoom?
Well, I think my plan at this moment is to do the, you know, the meditation. I do a meditation at the beginning, and then we're gonna put people in breakout rooms so that they can send distance Reiki to each other.
Okay.
So am I on this list or?
Yeah, because you're already on the email list.
Okay, so you'll be sending something out and then we respond to it? Because I don't remember seeing anything before.
You've gotten one this morning, a reminder,
Oh,
and last night you should have gotten one, but last night
for
was
this session, for
Yeah.
this session.
for this. So it's going to be the same thing. It's going to say coffee with the Kammermeyers Reiki share.
So it'll come in like the day before to remind us?
Yeah,
Because it looks like it's the 15th?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, everyone on this mailing list is on that as well, Chellie, or?
Yeah, everybody on the mailing list. But there's a lot of people that aren't available during the day because they're working from home or something. So
Yeah, I'm just asked because I don't remember seeing the email from you for Reiki, but maybe I'll check. For this.
it was in our newsletter, which was.
Yeah, I got your newsletter. Okay.
Yeah, it was in the newsletter, but you know, I put a lot of stuff in there
You're going to send out a special one.
because I don't like, the reason I send out long newsletters is because I don't want to send one every day telling you what my latest thought is. So,
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question? I'm
Sure.
not sure I'm on your newsletter, am I?
I think you are.
Okay, all right,
I'll double check. If not, I'll put you on there.
all right.
Yeah.
So much stuff comes through and
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't want to be one of those people that sends something every day or every other day. So,
Thank you.
And that is 10 o'clock my time. So whether I'm still awake enough to do a Reiki share at 10 o'clock at night, we'll see. So if you don't see me, don't be offended.
You have to dance for that.
I don't know. Well, I could dance. I don't know about 10 o'clock at night, but
The old days you did, I'm sure.
yeah, well, they're old days. I don't know. Oh, it's snowing again. Oh, yay. I'm looking out the window here.
Oh no.
Actually, I was just asked to do 4 Zoom classes for Berkshire County Art for their family support program. So I'm going to be doing a little Zoom dancing. So I'm really excited about that. That's one of the things I forgot to mention about things I'm really happy about, to do something for others that makes me feel useful. So yeah, really
nice.
happy about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Okay, so if you can, we'd love to see you on next Wednesday night. I'll send out a reminder on Tuesday, and then one again on Wednesday. That's an hour before. With both, we'll have the link, so you don't have to read both emails. They're basically the same. So it's nice to see everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey,
okay.
thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Let's see. Stop recording.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.